Alrighty then, so last time on Need for Speed Road Challenge, we did the International Open Road Tour, and ultimately my win streak, I don't know how big it was, but my win streak ended in the previous segment at Kindiak Park, and well, doesn't really matter because I still remained more consistent than the AI. So, let's now get back to the tournament and get on with our third tournament event, the Super Sedan Challenge. High-end European sports sedans compete in this intermediate level elite competition of luxury and speed. So we have a choice of 3 cars we can use here. We can either choose the Aston Martin DB7, the Jaguar XKR, or the BMW M5. And I've already decided which car I'm going to use because, well, it's statistically the worst of the 3. So, the 5 tracks we are going to include Kindiak Park, Route, Adomf, Durham Road, Landstrasse, and Celtic Ruins will be our final race. And so, let's get on with the first race, but first of all, I need to purchase a car. Because I have more than enough money to basically buy any one of these, and then max them out in terms of performance. So, statistically, the Jag is probably the worst of the 3. A lot of you will be recommending I use the BMW, but again, because I've already used a BMW at this stage of the game, I want to use the Jag. And as for the colour, well, got some interesting ones here. I got a feeling that's British racing green. Anyways, let's keep looking. I think that's supposed to be black. Let's have a look. Yeah, why not? I will... Actually, no, I'm not going to get this thing in green. But what I will get this thing in is... is this meant to be black? Yeah, whatever. I'll get it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just get this thing in what I believe to be black. So, now that that's done, we can put some upgrades on this thing. And as you can see, I have more than enough money to buy all 3 upgrades, but just because I'm going to prepare myself for this, I'm going to buy the first 2 upgrades and then see what happens by the time we get to the halfway point. Oh, bollocks. I pressed back by mistake. Anyways, we are using the Jag. And now, let's go! After I've already been wasting about, what, 3 minutes of your time at this stage? Well, it's probably 4 minutes by now, but whatever. Anyways, let's go to Kindiak Park for our first race in the Super Sedan Challenge. I put on the first 2 upgrades, but hopefully they will make this car a worthy opponent of this competition now.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing is in black, judging by what colour I think this thing is in. Of course, I did put on these upgrades for a reason, because I figured it was at least going to give me a chance of getting up to the podium and potentially even winning at some point before this is out. And well, even though this may not be the best car for me to use, I can definitely say I've made this car better than it was originally. And a little bit of contact there with one of the BMWs as I move up into the podium slots now and try not to hit the wall on the bridge. Everything seems to be going well so far, as I am trying my best to keep this thing under control. Everything seems to be running as it should. I am steadily closing in now on the leader, as the gap is now under 3 seconds. And I think I judged that timing fairly well, as I overtake another one of the BMWs. Yeah, I'm fairly confident this thing is in black, judging by what colour it's in. I did think about getting this thing in British Racing Green, but I decided I want to be a bit more, you know, a bit more outspoken from the traditional racing colour. Of course, green was technically our...
You're in second place! It's the final lap!
Okay, so I'm steadily closing in now on the leader. It's amazed me to think that I've not hit anything on the side of the track, as we are heading past the train now. And had to back out of the throttle there so I could make it through the corner. And now I am steadily closing in on the leader. Also, is that one of the Astons up in front of me? It is! It is a DB7 who has been leading this race until now. Well, probably still going to get some damage on this thing because I made contact with the AI, but at least I can say so far I've not hit anything on the road, which is quite amazing in and of itself, compared to a lot of other races I've had recently. Although technically the special events work differently to the tournament events, so, you know. Anyways. Able to at least maintain a reasonable gap now to the Aston behind me. And I just hit the speed limit sign. Oh well, doesn't matter. Over the level crossing, and there we go, victory.
That's your best lap! You've won the race!
It is victory to the Jag XKR. Also, I've changed my mind.
3,
and the lone BMW in this race finished in 5th. Anyways. You know, that went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to go. So I win by 3 seconds over Nemesis, and then it was Bullet and Chump in their 2 Jags, followed by Ranger, who was in the lone BMW M5, statistically the best car of the 3. Sorry, Frost is the driver in the lone BMW, and Ranger finishes last in the 2nd Aston Martin. So now we move on to...
Congratulations! You've got a top time for this track!
So now we move on to the times. And I can now say that is my best time yet. And I can also say I occupy 5 of the top 8 spots for Kindiak Park. Most of those taken in the Pontiac. Anyways. So, 5 grand overall, and less than 300 in the repair bill, which is pretty nice in all honesty compared to how it's gone recently. And now we move on to race 2. 1 race down and still 2 to go. And I think because I scored a win in the first race, I'm going to leave the upgrades as they are for now, just because I think this is the reasonable approach for me to win this event on consistency alone. I should also mention the sun is popping out from outside my bedroom window. Anyways.
3, 2, 1, go!
So, I win race 1. I will be amazed if this turns out to be a clean sweep, because I have noticed there are a number of people who have not come away from this event with a perfect score, and overall, without the upgrades, this can actually be really challenging. But since I managed to start off the Super Sedan Challenge in a positive way by scoring a victory to open up the event, I can definitely say it's given me some motivation to say that as long as I can remain consistent... Oh, and that's a wall. Well, there goes any clean race bonus I had, or safe driving bonus, to be more specific, as I now lose the position to Nemesis as a result of me scraping the wall there. But anyway, closing in, and presumably I'm going to retake the lead if he doesn't throw a block. Okay, he tried to block me, but he was not going to stop the momentum I had in the Jag. And now it looks as though I might have the lead back under control once again, potentially. But anyway, so heading through the rose trees now, or the pink rose trees to be more specific, and heading under the rocks, and back into town we go to start lap 2.
You're in first place. It's the final lap.
I would like to say these laps do go by pretty quickly, and that's a wall. Anyways. Also, I'd like to make a correction. I think this thing is purple. I don't think it's in black, I think it's in purple. But do I really care about it? Not really. But anyway. I mean, I probably could have got this thing in red if I really wanted to, but I'm thinking about doing that for the next event. So, I think this car I technically have in the same colour as my Pontiac. But either way, it shouldn't matter too much because, well, I'm wanting to think outside of the box, as I'm now heading down the hill at just under 150 miles an hour and scraping the wall there. Got a really bad exit there off that straight but still able to keep the car in one piece regardless. Excuse me. As we now head into the trees once again, and heading into the final right-hander. Sorry, this is the final right-hander, and under the flags we go to win race 2.
That's your best lap! You won the race!
Yeah, this thing is definitely purple, not black. And more or less the same results we had in the previous race. So no changes there. And I now have, I believe, a 4-point cushion over Nemesis.
Congratulations! You've got a top time for this track!
Oh, what do you know? My overall lap time for Rotterdamf in the Jag is slower than the 2 laps I set in the BMW. Oh, doesn't matter. So these are your point standings after 2 races. I now have 30 grand in my purse. I've also got a 4-point lead. No positions have changed. We pretty much finished in the same order as we did at Kindiak Park, and now we move on to Durham Road. And I think at this stage it's becoming pretty clear to me that I'm not going to need any more upgrades on this thing. I think it's fair to say the results are clearly speaking for themselves so far. And it looks as though we are doing very well for the moment. Anyways, on to Durham Road for what should pretty much be the halfway point of the Super Sedan Challenge. So, here we go.
1, go!
And it's also fair to say I get a pretty sizable head start over the competition, as I am the points leader at this stage of the running. I think a perfect score at this stage might be on the cards, but I'm not gonna say for certain because, well, there are still plenty of unknowns up to this stage of the championship. The only thing I can really be at this stage is consistent, and I've also got to make sure I make less mistakes than the AI. Fortunately, however, coming into this race I did have a 4-point cushion over Nemesis coming into this race, so... Oh, I think he just wrecked. I'm pretty sure he just crashed somewhere behind me. I couldn't tell you where though. But anyways, I am back into the lead once again here at Durham Road, and it looks as though this could potentially be my 3rd win in a row, if everything manages to play out the way I want things to play out. And got a bit of a poor exit there, but anyway.
You're in first place! It's the final lap!
I was a little slow on the reaction there, if I'm being completely honest. But anyway, at least I can say in the tournament I do not have to deal with the stress of traffic, and it's looking very much like this is going to be my third consecutive win in the Super Sedan Challenge, which means I should open myself up now to a 6-point lead, meaning that basically for the rest of the championship, if I can at least finish on the podium in the final 2 races, then I should have the championship secured. Or at least if I finish second to Nemesis in both races, or if I just get a second and a third in both of those races, then I should pretty much be the champion. And that will once again be another gold trophy added to my quite prestigious collection, as I scrape the guardrail there, but doesn't matter because I've now got 3 in a row.
That's your best lap! You've won the race!
I have scored the hat trick in my Jag. Oh, okay. Well, at least I can say we've had one change of position, because Chump has actually beaten Bullet in this race. So, at least I can say it's not going to be single file for the championship point standings altogether, because Chump finished 3rd, whereas Bullet finished in 4th. Anyways, moving on.
Congratulations! You've got a top time for this track!
Wonder where it's going to put me this time. Oh, 2nd. And my name at Durham Road literally occupies the top 7 spots. I occupy literally every spot but 8th now. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Well, Bullet still holds on to 3rd. But aside from that, no real change in the point standings at this stage. I am clearly now with an unassailable lead to my competition, and I'm also quite sure the possibilities of me winning this championship now are good ones. Anyways, on to Landstrasse for what should be the penultimate race of the Super Sedan Challenge, and then our last race takes place at the Celtic Ruins. Okay, just had to do that for a moment, don't mind me. Anyways, on to Landstrasse. And we are driving this course in the dark.
Go!
Yep, it is definitely nighttime here at Landstrasse. Well, at least I can say nighttime driving in this game is easier than it was in the previous game. Because let me just say, if you were driving at night in Hot Pursuit, you were basically lucky if you didn't hit anything a lot of the time, and that's basically what the case was with me, but either way, I still managed to eventually beat the professional knockout, even though I was driving around Empire City in that game whilst it was literally pitch black, more or less. But either way, I did manage to get the job done eventually, and I think now that I've started to get used to how I'm meant to be playing these games as a 22-year-old youth now, I can definitely say I'm getting a lot more used to how these games are supposed to work and also how I'm supposed to approach them, essentially. Because, well, I think if Toka has taught me anything at this stage, it's basically to not get stressed at a video game, even if it's making you physically apoplectic. Because when I played through Need for Speed 3, the professional knockout definitely made me apoplectic with how much I was losing it.
You're in first place. It's the final lap.
But I think as my experience has grown over the past year or so, since I completed NFS 3, I can definitely say I'm learning to take a much more peaceful approach to a lot of these games. Especially after the stress I suffered when playing through Toka. I did not mean to do that. But anyway, I didn't think it should matter too much because, well, I do have a 6-point lead coming into this. So, as long as I finish behind Nemesis in these last 2 races, I should still have the championship on points alone. Ah, you bitch! He definitely dive-bombed me there. I have no question over that whatsoever. Well, at least I can say I opened myself up to a reasonable points lead coming into this race. So, at least I can say I've already had some success up to this stage. Oh, fuck off. So, nope, I'm not handing over second. Not like this. And he still gets it. Well, I think I can repass him as long as he doesn't wreck both of us in the process. Okay, I've got through. He did not crash either of us in the process whilst I was trying to clear him. And right behind Nemesis once again. Doesn't look like I'm going to get him, but doesn't matter because I won the first 3 races. Second place, I'll take it.
That's your best lap. You placed second.
And well, the reason I accept second is because I have a 6-point lead. And it's also fair to say I definitely have a sizable margin at this point.
3,
Oh,
2,
what do you know?
1,
Double podium
go.
for the Jags. Although technically that's been the way of how this championship has essentially gone. Anyways, moving on. So, the win streak snaps at 3, but either way it doesn't matter because I have a sizable lead anyway.
Congratulations! You've got a top time for this track.
Pardon. And another top 8 lap time for Landstras, and that is a lot in damage. But either way, I still got the money. So, time for the finale of the Super Sedan Challenge, which takes place at Celtic Ruins, and where we are driving forward and nothing else. I did wonder if I should put the final upgrade on this thing, but I've decided no. I'm just going to get on with the race and just get this over with. So I still have a 4-point lead coming into this race. As long as I finish in third or better, I've basically got this championship made, the way I see it. Because the very least Nemesis can essentially do is tie me for the points, but I'll still get the championship in the end because I won the first 3 races, if that's what it comes down to. But hopefully it doesn't. Anyways, I do want to at least try and see if I can win this championship outright.
2, 1, go!
And starting on the pole, obviously because, well, I am technically the points leader coming into this race. It's always the points leader going into the next race who starts on the pole, and I am glad to say I am officially the leader. And I can definitely say Nemesis is closing in, because he's now... yeah, he's definitely keeping up with me. He's certainly proving that win at Landstrasse wasn't a fluke. Even though some mistakes were made on my end, I'm definitely not going to say for Nemesis that win he scored at Landstrasse was not a hard-fought one. And this is also my first time driving Celtic Ruins in this game, and judging by what I'm able to make out so far, it's actually not too bad. For a course in Scotland, as I'm now crossing over the drawbridge, I think that is. But it is nice to see EA did manage to give the United Kingdom some inclusivity, because as well as having England in this game, they also included Scotland. And there goes Nemesis for the lead as a result of my bad exits. So there we go. 1 lap down. 1 to go.
You're in second place. It's the final lap.
I really don't know if I either will or won't beat Nemesis here, but one thing that's for certain is I'm definitely not going to win this race if I make the mistake I just made before. And it looks as though Nemesis is proving to be the superior car at this stage. Of course, I did eke myself out to a 6-point lead by the time we got to the halfway point of the championship. And it is fair to say that will help me immensely in terms of knowing who will or won't win this championship. As long as I can finish behind Nemesis on the podium, then the very least we can do is tie. And then if it does come down to a tiebreaker, then at the very least I'm still going to win the championship by default of me having more wins. Oh, you bastard! Although I'm going to assume he must have got loose on the bump and then just basically and then just basically put me into the wall by mistake. I'm going to assume that wasn't intentional, but either way, he still put me in the wall nonetheless. But at least I can say, for him at least, it did not wreck both of us. And doesn't look like I'm gonna get him. He's clearly proving to be the superior car at this stage, but it doesn't matter, because I will finish second.
That's your best lap. You placed second.
And there goes Bullet in his red Jag. Oh, Chump finished in last. Well, that's definitely decided the results of who is going to finish this thing in third in the final point standings. I'm also just going to use camera 2 because I think this is the best camera I can use in terms of getting reasonable shots of the cars I drive. So, 2 seconds to end off the Super Sedan Challenge. May not be a perfect score, but it doesn't matter because, crucially, I still get the championship. And the reason I say that is because I finished behind Nemesis in both races, and I scored 2 seconds. So, it is fair to say I certainly know what I'm doing when it comes to these championship deciders. You know, I might actually get a shot of this thing in the trees, now that I think about it, or maybe even on the bridge with those 2 castle rooks. At least I think that's what they are. But yeah, I mean, in terms of up-close shots of the car, this does look to be the best camera I can use to get all-round shots of this thing. Oh yeah, that was when I overshot the corner. Anyways, moving on. Just because I don't want you to see when I got passed for the lead. But whatever, doesn't matter.
Congratulations! You've got a top time for this track.
Yeah. Oh, 4th best overall. You know, that is impressive, considering it was literally my first time around Celtic Ruins. So Hardcore has the best overall lap time, but either way, I still get the 4th best time overall for 2 laps. And it is Enforcer who has the lap record. But anyway, there we go. So, 36 points to me, 34 to Nemesis, 19 points to Bullet. Chump finished last at the season finale, which essentially gives him 4th. Frost finished in last. Frost was 5th with 11 points, and Ranger winds up in last with 6 points. So it is fair to say we did have a few.
Congratulations! You have won the gold trophy!
So it is fair to say we did have a few twists and turns. But either way, it doesn't matter because I still won the championship outright. You have won the Super Sedan Challenge Gold Trophy and have been awarded the Celtic Ruins track. Your first place finish qualifies you to race in the Knockout Challenge. I will think about doing that game. And I'm also going to save the game whilst I'm here, because I figured that too will be important. I'm also going to have to see if I should decide to do that first, or if I should decide to do the next tournament event first. Not sure which one is more logical, but either way, I will think of something. I normally do. Anyways, moving on. So we are done with another event in this game, and that should also mean that we are now halfway through the tournament. And as to which event I'll be doing next, well, I'll need to do some research first before deciding. But anyways, yeah. Until then, stay tuned for more of Road Challenge.